Remember that AWS provides over 200 cloud computing services. Here are just a few of them. But part of the reason why there are so many services is because we have a bunch of different companies, different customers who all have different needs. So they need different cloud computing models, different services to meet their specific needs. Now, there are three of these models, three cloud computing models that we are going to discuss. The first is Infrastructure as a Service, or IaaS. This model is very similar to owning and managing your own physical infrastructure. This model is very similar to owning and managing your own physical infrastructure, except of course you're working with virtualized infrastructure components. Rather than having access to the underlying physical components. The Infrastructure as a Service, the IaaS model, offers the greatest amount of flexibility because users have the ability to configure the underlying network, storage, and compute services that power their applications. So you get the convenience and cost effectiveness of cloud computing, but you still have the ability to configure and customize your IT infrastructure to your heart's content. So, can you think of an example of an IaaS service? Well, you're a big brain, so you actually already know one, and that is AWS. See, other examples of infrastructure as a service include AWS, as we already said, but also Microsoft Azure and Google Cloud. The next cloud computing model is the Platform as a Service, or PaaS model. The PaaS model is designed to allow organizations to focus on developing their applications without worrying about configuring and managing the underlying infrastructure resources. So, PaaS offers you a platform where you can deploy and manage your applications. That means releases, updating, making upgrades to your applications, but you don't have to worry about providing the infrastructure that's required to support that application. So you can just focus on writing your code on a PaaS environment. An example of PaaS is AWS Lambda. AWS Lambda is a special service that lets you run your own code, and it lets you program without worrying about setting up and managing things like servers. We will talk more about AWS Lambda in future videos. Last but not least is the Software as a Service model, or SaaS. Software as a Service is more of a software distribution model, but we group it with cloud computing models. All it means is that the end user, provides nothing. The provider provides the infrastructure, the platform, and the software. The user is responsible for, managing absolutely nothing. They have no responsibilities. They just use the software. Typically, that's used via the internet. So a majority of SaaS applications today are actually fully functional through a standard web browser like Chrome or Internet Explorer when that was working. Examples of SaaS services include things like Facebook, Dropbox, Etsy. So you would log into Facebook to shoot off a message to your friend, or you would upload files to Dropbox, or you would list a new piece of whatever to Etsy. All these examples are SaaS models of cloud computing. You're not responsible for the code, you're not responsible for the hardware, you just get to use the service. Thanks for watching. Please subscribe. I'm trying to reach 100 subscribers. Also, don't forget that there's always going to be a resource pack in the description. Just go there. It's free. And also, please leave me any feedback. I want to know what's been helpful, what's not helpful. So please comment with any feedback you have. And thanks again for watching. Bye.